All I have learned, I learned from books. Literature has been a source of information and entertainment for an exceptionally long time. One could write a book on the legacy of, well, books. Alas, books of all kinds have been subject to censorship for some truly mind-boggling reasons. I'm Jake, the Voice Parr, and these are 10 books that were banned for bizarre reasons. The premise for Shel Silverstein's children's book, The Giving Tree, is simple enough. A small boy enjoys playing with a magic tree who happily grants wishes. As he grows older, he wishes for things like boats and houses. The tree is happy to oblige. When the tree is reduced to an unhappy stump, the boy, now an old man, asks the tree if he could rest there. Once again, the tree was happy. Readers perceived the tree's generosity in different ways. Some interpretations resulted in the book being banned. A public library in Colorado in 1988 banned it, accusing it of promoting sexism. Other reasons included criminalizing the foresting agency, promoting sadomasochistic relationships, parental exploitation, and more. That's a lot to read from a generous tree. Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are has made the list at number 9. When a young boy dresses up as a wolf and causes mischief, he is sent to bed without supper. He wakes up in a jungle full of wild things and soon becomes their monarch. On release, it was panned and banned in the US for 2 years. A fictional child being sent to bed without supper was deemed psychologically haunting and fear-inducing for young children. Yet, in actuality, it proved to be very popular among them. Sendak's critics eased up over time and eventually showered it with praise. Number 8 is a quirky classic. Lewis Carroll, real name Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, wrote his university friend's daughter, Alice, as the star of the tongue-in-cheek tale Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. One school in New Hampshire banned it for mocking authority figures by portraying them as clueless and bossy, and supposedly encouraging children to engage in sexual fantasies. Government censor General Ho Chien robbed many children of the chance to delve into the wonderfully weird world of Wonderland because talking anthropomorphized animals being portrayed as equals to humans would be disastrous for children. Somehow. George Orwell's dystopian science fiction novel 1984 depicts a grim totalitarian future, led by brainwashing, social surveillance, and the mysterious Big Brother. Orwell's masterpiece has stunned and captivated readers since its release in 1948 and has snagged 7th place on our list of banned books. Many scholars interpret the novel as a criticism of the oppressive USSR under the rule of the ruthless and cold-hearted dictator Joseph Stalin. Bizarrely, Jackson County, Florida, ended up censoring the book in 1981 under accusations of being pro-communist. The beloved Dr. Seuss and his iconic nonsense poem, Green Eggs and Ham, is here at number 6. Daniel dislikes Sam I Am and his green eggs and ham, but never gives a reason why. After being pestered relentlessly, he finally tries the colourful dish and loves it. The People's Republic of China banned the book in 1965 for its portrayal of early Marxism, and that the moral of the tale was in actuality an allusion to giving in to homosexual temptation. The ban was lifted after the author's passing, 46 years later. Looks like China secretly craved for green eggs and ham after all. At number 5 is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Dorothy's Adventures in the World of Oz was banned from a library in Detroit for promoting negativism and cowardice. Certain libraries and schools refused to stock Baum's beloved tale under accusations of promoting communism. Baum must have been melting with laughter. James Joyce's Ulysses, at number 4, is a modern adaptation of Homer's epic poem Odyssey from around 1800 BC. It's one of the most unique books ever written, as it details almost every action and thought of 2 sexually frustrated gentlemen across a single day. One chapter even parodies countless writers through time, eventually degenerating into an almost incomprehensible mishmash of made-up slang. It was banned for 14 years in the UK and 11 in the US for its difficulty and sexual content. Ulysses fell victim to public book burnings, and Joyce was eventually taken to court regarding his creation. However, none of Joyce's detractors could explain how a supposedly impossible-to-understand book could also be scandalous and taboo as well. while critics of the time quite literally compared Ulysses to feces. After the ban was lifted, the book was praised by countless scholars and critics alike as one of the most important books in modernist literature. Making its way at number 3 is The Diary of Anne Frank. The teenage Anne Frank shed light on the difficulties of a Jewish family hiding from the Nazis for 2 years. The last entry was August 1st, 1944, when she and her family were sent to a concentration camp shortly afterwards. Anne sadly passed away, but her surviving father published the heart-wrenching diary 2 years after the war ended. While the Baker Middle School of Corpus Christi in Texas banned the diary in 1998, believing that it contained pornographic themes, the Alabama State Textbook Committee really made a fool of themselves for removing it from schools for being, quote, a real downer. Expecting a book about life under Nazi rule to be anything but depressing is quite a tall order. Is there any logical justification for the inclusion of J.K. Rowling's iconic Harry Potter series at number 2 of our list of banned books? In short, no. Countless religious families were uneasy of its depiction of devilish magic and witchcraft. Various religious schools in the United States, most famously a Catholic school in Massachusetts, disallowed its students from ever reading Harry Potter's adventures. Ironically, Rowling is a Christian herself, yet even to this day her series has been disparaged by devoted Christians. Winnie the Pooh is our number 1 entry on our list of books banned for bizarre reasons. A.A. Milne's tale focused on the escapades of a dim-witted but warm-hearted teddy bear as he and his stuffed animal friends explore the vast 100-acre woods. Several institutions in Turkey and the UK banned the book after believing Pooh's friend, Piglet, was a character deemed too offensive to Muslims and blasphemous to Christians. In 2012, the Russian government feared that the book was rife with anti-Semitic messages after discovering an arrested neo-Nazi was a fan. A drawing of Pooh with a swastika was found at the scene, meaning the government thought the honey guzzler was a Nazi himself. Later in 2014, a school in Tuszyn, Poland, decided to ban the book. They believed that Pooh was a hermaphrodite since he only wore his trademark red shirt. Oh, bother, as the silly old bear